Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the road is easy that leads to destruction, and there are many who take it. For the gate is narrow and the road is hard that leads to life, and there are few who find it. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorns? Are figs from thistles? In the same way, every good tree bears good fruit, but the bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus you will know them by their fruits. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. On that day, many will say to you, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? Did we not cast out demons in your name and do many deeds of power in your name? Then I will declare to them, I never knew you. You go away from me, you evildoers.
You know, that is a tough thing there when you hear people talk about the narrow gate and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people like to really focus on the things that Jesus said about narrow and that some people aren't going to get into heaven and all of this kind of stuff. You have to realize that Jesus was a storyteller and he was a fantastic speaker. He talked in parables, he talked in jokes, he talked in just different illustrations, and sometimes he would say things wide, sometimes he would say things narrow. Sometimes he would say things that would scare everybody and shake them, and sometimes he would say things that would comfort us. And this is mixed with both. It really is. When he's talking about the narrow gate and stuff, he's talking about that you're listening to me, but do you really hear what I'm saying? You know, it's amazing that 2,000 years, we go to church and we will leave, we'll hear a message, and we'll leave thinking that they were talking to me about this and all this kind of stuff. You'll hear about people talking about that the narrow gate and people should come in and love one another and all that kind of stuff. And people will still come in, they'll leave church and they'll say, but I still get to hate this person and all this kind of stuff because Jesus said that narrow, and that means that you're not getting in, but I am, and all of this kind of stuff. That's the thing that Jesus was talking about, is the hypocrisy that we have about naming ourselves as Christians and other people as lost. That's the thing that he was trying to shake up a little bit. He was saying, you're listening to me, but are you actually living what I'm saying? And if you're not, then you can't really say that you're a part of me, because your actions and what you're doing in your heart is, if it's a different message, then you can't follow that. Like, if, for instance, if I'm learning to drive a car, okay, there are certain things that I have to do, right? I have to work the steering wheel, I have to work the brake, I have to work the gas. Now, what if I said, I just want to drive that car, but I'm just going to step on the gas and I'm just going to go? Bad things, right? Yeah, I want to do it my way, and this is my way. I'm just going to, I'm not going to follow the rules on this. I'm just going to do things my way, and I'm just going to step on the gas and I'm going to go. Or I'm just going to do nothing but hit the brake. We have to, what Jesus is saying is there are certain things, if you want to follow him, there's certain things that we must stay in line with and follow in order to call ourselves Christians. If I sit behind a wheel and I just step on that gas and crash into a wall, I can't really call myself a skilled driver, right? And so Jesus is saying, if you want to call yourself a skilled Christian, a person that really does follow this, because I'm not going to be here all the time. I need you guys to go, and I need you to spread that message right now. I need you to make sure that you're getting that message right. And what he was warning us about was false prophets, false teachers, people that are saying that they are part of this, but their message is way off. And we run into that. We run into that today. There's a lot of people that are saying that they are Christians, but at the same time, their message is just bonkers. I've been accused of that because the things that I preach, I've been called a false prophet. I've been called the spawn of Satan. I've been called fat. That was way out of line. What can we do to make sure that we're following the right thing? That's the hardest part. a lot of us, we listen to that message, we get a little scared. We think, okay, what do I listen to then? How do I know that the person that is up here is teaching something that I really is the right thing, or are they a wolf in sheep's clothing? And that's where Jesus says, you can tell by what they're producing, what they're emulating, who they are. Is the person that is up there really following this stuff, or are they just putting on a show? And sometimes we watch things even like we watch, there's social media, there's news programs, there's different churches, there's all kinds of stuff that are giving different messages. And they all say that they're following the same thing. And it can get confusing sometimes. Some of them are telling us that it's okay to love this, but be wary of that. Some are saying that your Christianity is defined by who you vote for. Some people are saying that it's not what you do, it's what you feel in your heart. Some are saying it's not what you feel in your heart, it's what you do. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to get that message. If two people stood up here, we could give a very different message. It can be confusing. And that's why it's time to play. Did Jesus say it? I need a contestant up here. I need one person. You right there with the glasses. You're so smart. He was the first to raise his hand. Come on up here, sir. Sitting in the hot seat. I'll get a microphone here for you. Hello, sir. What's your name? Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name?
Timothy.
Timothy, how old are you?
10.
10? Make sure you hold that mic there.
10.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, we are going to play Did Jesus Say It? Because sometimes the best ways to find out if somebody is preaching the good news or preaching the word is to see if Jesus actually said that stuff, right? Audience participation, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. Woohoo! There we are. Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, okay. Here's your first question. We're going to give you quotes, and we're going to say, did Jesus actually say that? All right?
Do I answer yes?
You got to hold the mic up.
Do I answer yes or no?
You say Jesus said it or Jesus didn't say it. Okay? All right,
Okay.
Here's your first one. Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Did Jesus say it, yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Yes! Jesus. That's Jesus. Tell you what, we'll do Jesus or not Jesus, okay? All right. I remember when I was this short. It wasn't that long ago. All right, here's your next one. Do the very least for your brothers and sisters.
Jesus didn't say it.
Not Jesus. Perfect. He's 2 of 2. All right. You ready? You're
Yes.
going to go to the second round here.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
There's no prizes.
Aw, I wanted there to be prizes.
My kingdom is not of this world. Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus! Perfect! Yes, wonderful! He is so smart. His parents are cheating over there, but that's...
I'm not even looking at them.
Well, I would. That's like phone a friend right over there. I like your country the best.
Not Jesus.
Not Jesus! Perfect! Let's see. Give to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's.
Jesus.
Jesus! Isn't he doing something? Yes. What a wonderful lad. Okay. Always follow the politicians first.
Not Jesus.
Oh, he knows that one. Not Jesus. Are we picking up some signs here? Are you seeing how easy it can be to know which one you're following? If you're playing along at home, if you're following along here in the audience, if you see what this is, it's helpful to ask these questions. Did Jesus actually say it? Did Jesus not actually say it? And the people that you're listening to, are they saying the things that Jesus said? Are they echoing what Jesus said, or are they echoing things that Jesus doesn't say? Let's play again. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Following me will be easy.
Not Jesus.
Not Jesus. Perfect. Very much. Very well. How'd you know that? Because I'm smart. I like that. Very, very, very good. If any want to become my followers, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me.
Jesus.
Jesus. Perfect. In other words, if you're going to something that is saying that just by following Jesus, you're going to be comfortable, you're going to get everything you want through prayer, everything that you want because you have faith, or if you're following something that actually says, no, it's not really about yourself and your comforts, it's about what you give to people, it's about the things that you think about other people. That's how we determine whether or not we're following the right people or not. Money and things are the ways I can tell I like you the most.
Not Jesus.
Not Jesus. Not Jesus. Perfect. Very good. Not Jesus. You cannot serve God and wealth.
Not Jesus.
Jesus! Perfect. Have you done some studying?
I don't know.
Okay, perfect. What grade are you in? Fourth? Do you like it?
Yeah.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Recess.
Recess. It's nice to know they still have that. You know your mom's a teacher, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Except the music in elementary isn't that good.
The music in elementary is not good?
No.
Oh, because you're singing?
No.
Oh, okay. A little joke
Because
there.
the songs that he chooses are bad.
Aha, all right. How about this one? Winning the argument is better than winning the person.
Not Jesus.
Not Jesus. Perfect. I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute
Jesus.
you. John, you're interrupting. Go too fast. Jesus, right. If we listen to the things that Jesus actually said and we compare them to the things that we're following in our lives, whether it's on the news, whether it's on social media, whether it's at church, it's easy to tell whether or not we're following the thing that we say that we're following. Your rights and comforts before others.
Not Jesus.
I feel like I'm in the Roman Colosseum. People are doing this. Not Jesus. You're getting good at this. You're very good at this. You're answering these very quickly. Give to everyone who begs from you, and if anyone takes away your goods, do not ask for them again.
Jesus.
Jesus. Perfect. So it's not about our comforts. It's not about those things. It's about being able to sacrifice the things that we have to give others, to serve the greater good, to think about community, to think about our brothers and sisters, our family members, our friends, to see our neighbors as friends. Suck it up, buttercup.
Not Jesus.
Jesus. Perfect. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted.
Jesus.
That's the one thing when you hear about things that Jesus said about the, beware of this and all that kind of stuff, and the people like to take that and turn it into fire and brimstone and all this kind of stuff. Remember that Jesus, most of all, spoke about that he is there for us, that he is walking with us, that he is comforting us. He was going to people and helping them, people that were considered on the outside. He was helping them. So that's who we follow. So the things that we follow in life should be part of that, shouldn't it? It should emulate that, right? We shouldn't be saying that we love Jesus and all this stuff and then following something that's a very hateful message that tells us to not think of others, but to think of ourselves first. Those are the things that are the measurements of what we can see. Am I spending my time on this or am I spending my time on that? No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends.
Jesus.
Perfect. Jesus. You are so smart. I was not that
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Appreciate it. Do to others as you would have them do to you.
Jesus.
Jesus. A new commandment I give you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another.
Jesus.
Jesus. Remember, I am with you always to the end of the age.
Jesus.
Jesus! A round of applause for this person here. Thank you, sir, very much. Now, isn't it something, how old did you say you were? 10? A 10-year-old knows the difference. A child knows the difference. Because a child knows what's right and wrong. A child knows that this is loving, this is not loving. This is giving, this is not giving. This is hating, this is not hating. It's not rocket science. But yet we worry about things like that because we watch things and we hear from people and all that kind of stuff. They're saying, I am Jesus and I am this guy and I follow this and all this kind of stuff. And Jesus is telling me that those people are bad and that you should hate this and you should fear this and you should not do this and you should vote for this and all of this kind of stuff. It gets us into trouble because what it speaks to, and this is what Jesus was pointing out 2,000 years later, is sometimes when we speak of the fears and the things like that, the things that you should hate, it really sounds easy. It sounds better. If we really want to tell ourselves the truth, we know that sometimes just hating somebody is easier than trying to work out peace. We know that just categorizing an entire group of people and just trying to stay away from them is easier than trying to communicate with people and learn from people. And we have to also realize that sometimes when we see something that's different than us, one of our first instincts is fear. And there are things in this world that like to play on that fear. There are people in this world that like to play on that fear. They try to tell you that that person's different, or if we have to do this, it'll change everything that we know about life. If you let that in, our world will crumble. And yet we have Jesus that's saying, I'll be with you always. We have Jesus saying, you will be comforted. We have Jesus that is saying, if you really want to follow me, pick up your cross. And people knew what pick up your cross meant. That meant you're walking to your death. You're carrying the weapon of destruction that's going to kill you. It's not comfort. It's not about your entitlement. It's not about you first. And that's what Jesus was trying to tell this group of people, that if you truly do want to follow me, remember, that's the easy door right there. The door of hatred, the door of comfort, the door of just staying away, the door of treating people differently, the door that says, our country's better, those countries are bad, bomb them. But the narrow door is where someone has to go in single file. It's where each one of us has to come in. Alone, sometimes. Owning our own stuff. Being our own self. And Jesus is saying, that's not an easy door. That's the door where I talk to you and I say, did you really love? Did you really follow? Did you leave church shaking hands, giving hugs, and then yell at the first person that you see at the grocery store that's walking too slow or paying by check? Do people pay by check anymore? Do you practice what you preach? Do you hear what I am saying up here? Jesus is saying, do you hear this? And are you following this? Because it's not going to be easy. If you were Jesus' publicist, there's many times that you would say, oh, don't say that. You're gonna lose them. Tell the people what they want to hear. And that's what we see all the time. Because sometimes what we want to hear is, we're good, they're bad. We should be afraid. Here's the answer. Just keep them out. If they're different than you, don't like them. If it sounds uncomfortable, don't do it. If it's for the greater community, but it's icky to you, well, take yourself first. It's not about your rights or your comforts. Jesus is saying, it's tough. It's tough to think about others. It's tough to think about love. It's tough to think about and follow that. That's how we know whether or not we are following Christ. The world will tell you that person is different, don't talk to him. Or that person is different, that they vote this way, or they live their life this way, or their skin color is this way, or they're from there, whatever else you want to add to the list. Avoid them, condemn them, hate them, but whatever you do, don't talk to them. You can go on your social media and you can go on this and you can say everything that you want about them. It's Jesus that is saying, have a conversation with them. Talk to them. Because you're part of them. That's how we know we're following Christ. Do we take the time, rather than condemning our neighbor and saying bad things about our neighbor, and just talking about the differences and fearing, do we take the time to actually get to know our neighbor? To actually talk to our neighbor? To actually hear their story? Do we take the time to say less and listen more? It's hard. That's what Jesus was saying. If you want to experience the kingdom of heaven, that's what it is. One of the biggest shocks that you're ever going to find is when you get to heaven and you see who else is there. And some of them are going to be laughing at you because of all the things that you said about them. I just want to be that person. I'm here. That's what it's all about. When you can take a 10-year-old, very smart 10-year-old, by the way, when you can take a 10-year-old and say, is this Jesus or not Jesus? And he gets 100%. We know the answer. And 2,000 years ago, that's what Jesus was asking. You know the answer. You know what it means to follow me. I'm putting you to the task, are you? Or are you just crossing your fingers and stepping on the gas? Because one way you're going to hit a wall. Would you pray with me? Gracious and loving God, if we're truly honest, following you is hard. Help us understand why we follow you. Help us to spread the love. Help us to surround ourselves with the love. Help us to energize ourselves with your love. Just walk with us. Guide us. We know what it means to follow you. Help us to hear that loud and clear. In Jesus' name, Lord, we pray. Amen.